Brad, actually, by Jeremy Bonali and Alex Quinn. Fade in. Exterior centrifuge station. A wagon-wheeled space station floats in deep space.
Space. It's big. So big that if you lost your car keys in it, they would be almost impossible to find.
Interior centrifuge station. Vega, a 20-something scoundrel with violet hair, fires her blaster down a neon-lit hallway.
So guess what I'm doing?
She ducks behind cover as her target, Lord Zephyron, an imposing alien warlord, returns fire.
Surrender, Vega. The key of Klepton is mine. You can't possibly win.
I don't have to win.
Vega shoots a control panel, opening the airlock.
I just gotta make you lose.
A figure in a spacesuit enters. As the hall repressurizes, he removes his helmet, revealing steely blue eyes and a 5 o'clock shadow. This is...
Brad Callahan!
Zephyron fumbles for a remote. It has a picture of Brad's face and a large cancel sign on it. He stabs his finger on the button. Exterior forest, day. Constance, a demure woman in medieval garb, watches as the moon eclipses the sun and the sky glows red. Acheron, monarch of the vampires, stands triumphant atop a towering stone altar dripping in blood.
And with the day star extinguished, we vampires will rule in the endless night.
His undead army shrieks and howls with joy.
His ritual almost complete. There was nothing I could do, so I put my faith in our champion.
A stoic knight crests the hill, his golden hair shimmering in the twilight.
Brad Callahan.
Acheron turns to face his enemy. He orders his minions.
Kill him!
The vampires charge as Brad draws his sword and strikes. Interior centrifuge station. The residents of the station watch helplessly as hundreds of missiles head straight for them.
For any other man, it would have been hopeless.
The doors to Zephyron's escape pod close just as Vega's laser hits. She turns to Brad, who's working furiously at a control panel. A computer screen shows 10 seconds to impact.
You've got 10 seconds to improve my mood.
He hands Vega a transmitter. She grins and throws it at the escape pod. Exterior forest, day. Brad is a living tornado of metal and muscle, pulverizing every vampire that comes within arm's reach.
Okay, so no key. But there's a reason I keep Brad around.
Still spinning, he pulls out a crossbow and fires it with one hand.
Constance!
Constance hurls a bag of magic powder into the air. The crossbow bolt punches through it and strikes the altar.
Guess some guys gotta learn the hard way.
Acheron watches in horror as the bolt ignites and the altar begins to quake. Interior centrifuge station. The timer hits 0. Brad plunges his hand into a nest of wires and pulls. The panel gushes sparks as the air rumbles.
For Brad Callahan is no mere man.
Exterior centrifuge station. The entire station flips onto its side. The missiles pass harmlessly between the spokes of the massive wheel.
He's the savior of mankind.
From his escape pod, Zephyron shouts in terror as the missiles head straight for him. Exterior forest, day. Acheron clings to the altar as it topples like a tree. Brad uses a vampire's face as a springboard and leaps.
The greatest legend in the galaxy.
Brad intercepts Acheron mid-air. Time slows as his sword surges straight for Acheron's head. Interior Christine's apartment, day. On TV, a pixelated ninja lands a haymaker on his virtual opponent. As the victory sting plays, he poses triumphantly.
You're the worst brother ever.
Brad and Christine Callahan are playing video games in her one-room apartment. Brad is in his mid-20s, belied by a widow's peak and unkempt facial hair, just as his thin arms exaggerate his growing midsection. Christine, barely 20 and already a nurse, is wearing blue scrubs with a black long sleeve underneath. She tosses the controller in frustration.
How do you always beat me? You were at like 2% health.
She takes a vape of the e-cigarette hanging around her neck.
It's because I got all 3 crystal gems and powered up my ultimate move.
Christine studies the game box, the title Immortal Combat, clearly visible.
I'm too busy fighting you to worry about collecting jewelry.
Brad, his eyes on the TV, reaches for Christine's e-cig. Christine, still reading the box, intercepts him. Their arms flail silently like 2 toddlers in the back seat of a van.
I mean, honestly, what kind of fighting game expects you to focus on something other than fighting?
Interior diner, day. Christine and her older brother Adam share a booth and a greasy spoon.
I mean, he only got the game because he hawked my jade necklace to buy it, and then he wouldn't even let me win.
Adam is in his early 30s and too well dressed for this place. He He straightens his tie and inhales sharply.
Christine, if Brad's bothering you so much, why don't you just kick him out?
I did.
Then why do you keep letting him back in?
Christine slumps in her seat.
Because I feel bad for him.
Elbows on the table, Adam leans forward.
Look, sis, everybody makes their own path in life. Brad made his when he got kicked out of high school and dropped out of college.
Actually, it was the other way around.
And when he lit half the town on fire on the 4th of July.
Christine's eyes widen as she relives the horror.
I do remember that, yes.
My point is, you gotta let him live his life so you can live yours.
Christine gazes out the window, pondering his advice. Exterior park, day. Brad sleeps on a park bench wearing old work boots and a threadbare blue blazer over a faded gray hoodie. A purse plummets onto Brad's chest and he wakes with a start.
Wake up. I'm going to work with you today.
Brad sizes her up.
Cool.
Interior abandoned house night. Christine throws her weight against a door as undead arms scratch and claw for a way inside.
So I was talking with our brother Adam about your job.
Exterior mountainside day. Christine and Brad scale a vertical ice wall amidst a blizzard.
And it kind of got me thinking.
Interior submarine. Now they're chest deep in rising waters. Brad's working with wires in a ceiling panel.
Maybe you do this because everyone says you can.
Interior volcano night. Now they're tied together, being lowered into a lava pit, Temple of Doom style.
Like, maybe you've brought into the hype.
Exterior roller coaster day. Now they're being whipped around on a roller coaster, hands in the air.
So I'm thinking if I can prove
Exterior middle of nowhere night. Now they're shoveling dirt into a shallow grave.
that you're not the only one who can do this.
Exterior asteroid field. Now they're in spacesuits clinging to tumbling asteroids in a massive zero-gravity laser gunfight.
That you're not really all that special.
Interior prison day. Now they're sitting in a jail cell as several vicious inmates close in.
You could get a real job in your own place.
Interior plane day. Now they're in a plane that's plummeting straight to Earth. Sirens scream as they struggle against the G-forces and Brad wrestles with the controls.
Finally get on with your life.
Exterior military base day. Now they're standing against a concrete wall, blindfolded and smoking cigarettes.
So I can get on with mine.
Fire!
Gunfire erupts as we cut to black. Interior Castle Lavenza night. A Gothic manor filled with decor from the medieval to the grandfather clock. Beneath a portrait of her parents, Constance works diligently in her laboratory. A crash. Startled, Constance turns to find Ichabod, the elderly town drunk, fumbling around with her instruments.
Ichabod, how many times do I have to tell you? I study alchemy, not whiskey.
Mind you, when you're my age, you can get a kick out of anything.
He picks a concoction, tries and fails to comprehend the label, and swigs it anyway.
I don't even know how that will affect you.
Whatever happens, it's got to be better than how I felt when I got here.
Yes. How exactly did you... Oh, wait.
Constance runs to her desk and rummages for something to write with. She readies a quill.
What are your symptoms?
Well, the room is starting to spin.
Mm-hmm.
I feel regret for abandoning my infant son to fend for himself in the wilderness.
Well, I'm not sure. I guess I'll write that down anyway.
And I see indivisible people standing in the corner.
Well, if they're invisible, then how could you...
Constance spots a transparent man-sized shape nearby. The facade drops to reveal yellow eyes and teeth. Vampire. Two more appear, and Constance and Ichabod stumble back into a corner. The lead vampire shrieks and lunges forward. Without warning, Constance and Ichabod fall through a trap door and land face to face with Brad and Christine.
Brad! What are you doing here?
What does it look like? Saving your life.
No, she means why are you in a tunnel under the floor?
I believe she means, why are you in my tunnel under her floor?
Hold on. This is who's... What now?
Everyone jolts as a vampire's arm plunges through the floorboards.
No time to explain.
Let's go.
Exterior Castle Lavenza night. The four rush out of the castle and into a horse-drawn carriage with Brad at the reins. Above them, screeching vampires orbit the castle towers.
So, vampires in your house. What's up with that?
As they leave, Constance gazes warily over her shoulder. The vampires aren't pursuing. She relaxes in her seat.
I'm afraid they must have learned of our discovery. We found a letherix.
Next to them, Ichabod loudly guzzles a bottle, his arms full with more. Constance and Christine stare at him. Awkwardly, he moves his pilfered potions away from them.
Letherix? You found it?
Yes, well,
Exterior forest night. The four stand awkwardly in a barren woodland hollow.
So.
It's invisible.
Right.
Constance searches through her satchel.
The cave of Alethrix means cave of concealment.
She tosses some glowing powder into the air.
It's where the vampires first learned to camouflage themselves.
Like magnetism, the powder floats and sticks to an invisible wall a few meters ahead. It ignites, revealing the mouth of a cave.
I must warn you, legend tells that the cave is guarded by the Uroboa, a monstrous serpent so large no one has ever seen its full size.
Christine arches her eyebrows. She knows to take Constance with a grain of salt, but
Fortunately, the Uroboa hibernates during the winter season, why nothing short of Mount Viscoria erupting could possibly wake it.
a distant rumble. Christine throws up her hands in disbelief.
You mean like that?
No, that was just my stomach. That last bottle may have been a mistake.
A thundering explosion rocks the ground.
That was Mount Viscoria erupting.
Christine facepalms. Interior, Alethrix cave, night. The four enter a long, barren hallway. Brad stops and motions to Christine. She digs in her purse and hands him a quarter. Thinking better of it, she puts it back and hands him a penny. Brad tosses the penny, and it's immediately crushed by a booby-trapped boulder.
Oh, invisible cave, invisible threats.
Stay here.
Brad charges down the hall, dodging dastardly traps with the agility of an Olympic gymnast. Christine glances over at Constance, who is transfixed with wonder. We then see things from Christine's perspective, like an actor running on a treadmill in front of a green screen. Brad's just headed in a straight line, and every threat is missing him by a mile. He reaches the end and disarms the traps as the three come up to join him. Constance plays nervously with her hair.
So, Christine, how long has Brad been staying with you?
So long. I don't look both ways before I cross the street.
Constance's brow furrows.
I don't understand.
That's an understatement.
The four enter the cave's center, murals carved along the walls. A single stalactite twists down from the ceiling, tipped by a red gem, shining a pale beam onto the ground. Christine hands Brad another penny. He flicks it into the beam and it vanishes, but they hear it ring as it hits the floor.
Okay, that is cool.
Quickly, I can use Revido powder to extinguish it.
And goodbye, invisible monsters?
Giant yawning jaws open up silently behind them.
More like goodbye pointless.
Brad shoves his sister away as the mouth lunges forward. Hissing, it turns about, an infrared ripple washing over its coiled body. It's the Ouroboros, an invisible snake the size of the whole cavern. Brad plants himself between the serpent and its prey.
Go, Brad!
Brad, stop!
He charges the beast, vanishing as he passes through the gem's beam. As the unseen fight rages, the Ouroboros' thrashing body knocks the others around. An errant strike sends Constance and Christine tumbling over a ledge and into a side chamber. Christine kicks away some old mining supplies and glares at Constance.
Way to go, pixie dust. Now I've got this to deal with.
Constance calmly dusts off her dress.
Fear not, Brad will protect us.
Why does that not fill me with confidence?
Constance smiles knowingly and shakes her head.
A prophet is never accepted in his hometown.
Christine swipes vainly at a black stain on her shirt.
And what's that supposed to mean?
You know Brad better than anyone, yet you refuse to put your trust in him.
Christine finds the source of the stain, an underground river of oily black ichor.
Look, Constance, I know how you feel about Brad,
Christine picks up the bucket she kicked earlier.
but you can't rely on my brother's dumb luck to solve all your problems.
With or without the blessing of Providence, I know Brad has a pure heart. That's why I call him a hero.
Christine kneels to gather some ichor from the stream.
That's because you're not his sister.
Ichabod pokes his head over the ledge, rope in hand.
Hello, ladies. Need a lift?
Ichabod! Thank you! Throw it down!
Her eyes widen.
Wait! Just one end.
Okay, but I don't know what you're going to do with half a rope.
As Ichabod complies, Christine walks over with the bucket full of ichor. The two women exchange worried glances as they grab the rope.
Okay, pull! On the rope!
Oh, right.
Good, it's not just me.
As they climb back into the central chamber, a powerful blow sends Brad reeling backwards through the beam, turning him visible again. The Ouroboros, still visible, has gained the upper hand. Without hesitation, Christine charges forward.
Heads up, kids!
She heaves the ichor into the air where it doesn't matter. The snake is too big to miss. The ichor just splatters onto the ground. The Ouroboros isn't there. Christine, arms and legs still outstretched, is too shocked to move. The bucket falls from her hands.
Brad, you did it.
So, this is what it feels like to be part of a team. I don't like it.
Christine starts to pull herself together.
But how did... And the snake, you were there.
Constance casts the powder on the gem, neutralizing it.
And it just... But no one saw.
Brad offers his sister the gem.
Souvenir?
I don't understand.
Exterior, Omega Mart, night. Millions of spacers and aliens stand shoulder to shoulder in line on Omega Mart, a sunless world glistening with endless towers of computer screens. Christine, Brad, and Vega are right in the middle of it.
I mean, he was invisible the whole time. They had no idea what happened.
Christine finishes her conversation with an uninterested Vega. They stare at each other for a few moments.
You know, I once killed a man for staring at me. Turned out he's blind. Tragic, really.
Disgusted, Christine tries to peer over the crowd.
Are they open yet?
Nope.
Is there not a 24-hour store around here?
No, because the one store is the whole planet. Omega Mart only opens one day every pentacycle, and we are not missing it.
Christine gets jostled by the crowd.
A lot of trouble is to shoplift some space rock.
The Vitruvian crystal. This is the only place in the galaxy that has them. And when they close shop tomorrow, just a single one will be priceless.
It's gonna be tough to get there first.
Relax. The shopping here is fast and efficient.
Miles away at the front of the line, an employee flips the closed sign to open. The roaring crowd goes mute. Each patron looks at the other. Interior, Omega Mart, night. If the end of the world happened to fall on Black Friday, it would look like this. Shoppers brawl, lasers sizzle in the air, and entire shelf mountains crumble in the distance. A shopper goes flying through a window, courtesy of Vega.
Find it?
Brad, arms full of junk, inspects a mechanical owl and an orb with a flaming eye.
Nope.
Christine runs up to her brother with a 35mm camera.
Hey, check it out. It's just like Dad's old camera.
Come on, people. You're supposed to be getting my crystal.
Without looking, Vega draws and shoots a guy off screen.
My leg!
Sure. And while we're at it, why don't we look inside ourselves for the answer to the questions we are afraid to ask?
Vega and Christine stare at one another with mutual contempt.
Or we could just look over here.
Brad stands next to a box shining with blue light. Ecstatic, Vega presses her face against the glass and basks in the glow.
So, how much is it worth?
Vega clips a scanner to her ear and reads the eyepiece.
1,006.
Brad takes the scanner, flips it, and puts it on Vega's opposite ear.
It's over 9,000!
Vega blasts open the container and swipes her prize.
Tomorrow it'll be worth as much as I want.
Great, let's go. Where did we park?
By housewares. Just past those guys.
Christine looks up to find 7 galactic villains: Lord Zephyron, Count Zero, Serious Threat, Megahertz, Black Nebula, Modulo, and Thrash Gordon breathing down their necks.
Oh, flux.
Brad Callahan, you have something that belongs to me.
Christine snatches the crystal from Vega and holds it up.
No, I have it. If you want to take it from me, you'll have to...
My
The
revenge!
villains rush Brad, who peels out at top speed. Vega and Christine are left in the dust.
Hey, wait! Brad! Space fixing, this is your doing.
Vega calmly removes her scanner and straightens her hair.
Easy killer. Brad's unbeatable.
She nods to the villains stampeding through the background.
If he wasn't, I'd be the first one in that line.
So you just use him to take out your competition? Is that it?
He's a hero. It's what he does.
No, it's not. What Brad does is sleep on my couch, eat all my food, and be generally unacceptable. And you're gonna get him killed.
Hey, at least I want him around.
That's not...
Deafening radio static splits the air as every one of a million monitors tunes to the same channel. Metric, a cyborg man with glowing mechanical eyes, appears on screen.
People of Omega Mart, hear my decree.
Ah, Zodiacs. I hate these guys.
Shoppers stop what they're doing and stand silent and still. The chaos of Omega Mart flatlines.
Do not attempt to resist. We control all transmissions. We control all that you see and hear.
Christine waves her hand in front of a patron's frozen face. Every shopper is wearing a headset scanner like Vega's.
He's using VR, virtual reality. Takes the mind hostage.
So what do we do?
You will now partake in a grand experience.
Vega is pickpocketing a helpless bystander. She motions to the screens.
That's Metric. Me and Brad have dealt with him before.
You will witness the advent, the awe and mystery.
What? In VR? You beat him?
Sure did. Now where's Brad?
Christine glances at Vega's scanner.
And the salvation of the technological singularity.
Hey, Metric!
The cyborg stops. No one should have escaped his thrall, but there Christine stands, wearing Vega's scanner. The edge of her lips curl up as she switches it on.
Let's rumble.
The monitors go blank. A sourceless wind arises and the floor tiles rattle. In front of Christine, electricity descends from the sky like a reversed Jacob's ladder. A thunderclap. Metric, more machine than man, appears in a flash of light. He is not amused.
You would stand against the march of progress? I possess the power of the technological singularity.
Oh yeah? Well, I have the power of positive thinking.
Metric just stares. Christine rolls up her sleeves.
Let's just get this over with.
The screen is bisected by a lightning bolt with VS at its center. The world transmutes into a 2D fighting game with health bars, power meters, and Christine on one side and Metric on the other.
Fight!
Metric's robot hand flips into a blaster and fires rapidly, stinging Christine with lasers.
Ow! Hey! That's cheating! You're just... Ow! Using the same attack... Ow! Over and over!
Metric activates a remote in his other hand.
Fissile missile!
A huge ballistic missile soars out of nowhere and slams into Christine. The G-forces glue her to the nose cone as the missile goes into orbit. As they circle the whole planet, a handy arrow marked Christine helps us keep track. When the rocket returns, Metric fires a final shot, detonating the warhead.
It's super effective!
When the smoke clears, Christine lies face down in a crater. With the last of her strength, she lifts her head.
Ow!
Metric looms over her.
You should have known your place.
His robotic arm shifts into a de-atomizer and pulses with energy.
And prayed for Brad to save you, like everyone else.
Without warning, Brad and his villainous entourage enter stage left and trample Metric. Brad slips through the scrum and kneels next to Christine.
Here, sis.
A dazed Christine sits up and takes what he's offering.
What's this? A necklace? My jade necklace.
Yeah, it's the whole reason we came here, but don't tell Vega.
Oh, well, geez, Bradford,
Shouts of anger announce the villains closing in.
Gotta go.
Brad takes off. The bad guy's hot on his heels. Christine sits, staring at the jewelry in her hands.
If my necklace ended up here, then the game Brad bought
Metric rises again, his mechanical implants reconfiguring.
is from here too. This fight is the same thing.
Christine pulls the Aletherix gem and the Vitruvian crystal out of her pocket.
That's it. That's it!
Christine jumps to her feet and throws her fist in the air.
I have the power!
Metric fires, eclipsing Christine in a flash of blue laser, but she emerges unharmed, ablaze in golden light. Metric stares in shock.
I've got a deadbeat brother
Christine marches towards Metric, who's firing desperately. His shots have no effect.
who wastes every single day
Metric fires a rocket. Christine deflects it effortlessly.
playing stupid video games.
Metric stumbles back, terrified.
What's happening? That's impossible.
Christine is inches from his face.
And you know what?
Cornered, he tries to strike, but Christine stops him cold.
Sometimes I play too.
She grins devilishly.
Ultimate combo!
Christine rockets toward Metric like a blazing meteor.
Wait, how'd she get so far away?
Christine's hurricane of hurt makes landfall on Metric's face. 1,000 punches a second twist his body like a sock monkey in the spin cycle. Christine backflips into the air and hangs there, conjuring twin spheres of fire.
Mass Christinction event!
Christine unleashes a pillar of golden light, atomizing Metric and sparking stock footage of a nuclear explosion.
K.O.
As we fade back in from white, the victory sting plays, and Christine stands triumphantly over Metric's broken body.
Now go home and be a family man.
Metric groans as his digital reality disintegrates. With the world back to normal, shoppers resume their carnage without a microsecond of lag, like it never happened. Christine unclips the scanner and tosses it to Vega.
And that, kids, is how you handle bullies.
How's that?
The epic fight, giant explosion, happened right here. Where were you?
Sorry, love, you were just standing there doing nothing the whole time.
Christine notices Vega has her 35mm camera.
What the? Give me that!
She snatches it away and double checks her pockets.
Where's my wallet?
Yeah, like you've got any money.
Okay, whatever, let's just go get...
Hey guys.
Christine jumps as Brad walks up out of nowhere.
Brad, how did you... Where did...
She takes a moment to compose herself.
What happened to all the bad guys?
Interior, Castle Lavenza, day. It's standing room only in the dining hall. Constance stands atop the table, telling a tale with all the vigor in her body.
Bullet hits a shovel, ricochets back through the fourth one, and that's when the roof caved in, igniting the barrel of pure grain alcohol and instantly incinerating the fifth and sixth.
What about the seventh?
Silence falls like a blanket as every head turns to Christine.
You said Brad defeated 7 villains with only 1 bullet, but that's only 6.
The crowd looks back to Constance. She grins knowingly.
The seventh, why, he died of fright.
The crowd hollers and cheers. Christine shakes her head smiling. Brad leans in.
Hey, Vega's got a job. Wanna come?
Are you kidding? After the day I just had?
They wade through the crowd and leave out the back door.
Plus, I gotta work tonight, so...
Exterior Terra Nova day continuous. They exit out the front door of a prismatic skyscraper. Overhead, motherships rain killer robots, setting the futuristic cityscape ablaze. Sirens blare as people flood the streets in panic.
I guess I could stick around.
Vega stands atop a pile of rubble, shooting defiantly. Brad joins her. Christine takes it all in.
Besides this time,
She brandishes her camera.
I'll be the one telling the story.
A sly smile creeps onto her lips as we cut to black. The end.